Hi everyone. It's Sunday again, and we are going to be streaming episode 2 today, which is all about buying your first wig. I just, before we start, I just wanted to say that I wasn't going to come on today just because we lost a friend last night who was a friend of mine on Instagram. She was one of the first people I connected with 3 years ago. Her name's Kelly. A lot of you probably follow her as well. But then this morning I decided, after a really horrible night's sleep, I decided that actually it probably would be best to come on to support people, carry on supporting people, because this is what our community does. I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's probably going to set me off again. I just wanted to say that basically before we got Amanda on, that I'm thinking about Kelly's family today, and let's get Amanda on and we can start things off. Hey everyone joining the room. So we are talking about buying your first wig today.
Hi.
Hey Amanda, can you hear me?
I can. Hello.
You look lovely as usual.
Thank you. I'm sorry for your loss of your friend Kelly, Kaz.
Thank you. Yeah, it was just I'm just still in a bit of shock, to be honest with you. It's sad. I can't even. It's heartbreaking. I thought that the best thing to do would be to come on today. And carry on.
I think what makes you amazing is you've gone through this twice yourself. You've met so many people that have done it, and your heart is in helping people on their journey. So well done.
Yeah, that's the point of today. The point of today is to carry on supporting people, because I know there are people out there now who want advice on buying their first wig, because it's so important. And I felt like if we waited another week to do episode 2, it wouldn't have been fair to those people waiting. So you know, if it wasn't me sitting here, I would have got somebody else, but I don't have anyone else, so
wouldn't have been about you today.
So should we met yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, that's such a nice night. Whenever I meet you, I'm on such a high afterwards. I'm like, because you're
I know, I'm like, I'm buzzing. I can't wait for the next thing. And yeah,
it's so exciting to be working together. Honestly, I'm loving it. So thank you for meeting me. It was really nice.
You're welcome. And if my internet connection goes, it's Virgin Media playing games with us. I'm using my husband's hotspot today. So welcome everyone who's joining the room.
Yeah.
Today me and Amanda, the lovely Amanda from Hair to Wear, is going to be talking about all things buying your first wig. So how much to spend, human hair versus synthetic hair. Any questions you guys have, please share with us below your stories about your buying your first wig experience, because I know mine was horrific.
I mean, we spoke about this yesterday, didn't we?
We did speak about this yesterday.
My first wig experience was absolutely horrendous as well. I came out of many places, floods of tears. I'm not going back in there. And obviously I was a child, so my mum had to go on that journey with me. And what we've certainly learned at Hair to Wear is we know it's hard to come in. We know it's hard to pick up that phone. And you know yourself, because it's admitting this is happening to me. I need a wig. Even the word wig makes me cringe. It used to make me shudder. Just the word, the connotation of, oh my God, hair loss, wig, bald. All these words just make us think, no, I don't want this to be me.
It kind of just keeps telling you, God, this is happening to you. Every time you hear someone say that word, it's like, bloody hell, my hair's actually going to fall out at some point.
It's going to happen, and I've got to kind of accept this. And when we do think of the word wig, we all think of something very dodgy that we've seen on TV, or we've seen someone wearing down the road, or a fancy dress wig, or all these things out there. Wigs are really good, and they're getting better.
They are really good
and better. And everybody that comes in, everybody that I speak to, they go, oh, I didn't expect them to be this good. I thought it was going to be awful. So my advice is just pick up that phone, send that text message, walk through that door, whatever makes you feel right, do it. Because I'm on the other end of the phone, and as you know, just talking to somebody that can guide you through it. And even if you don't want a wig, sometimes it's just about the hair loss. We're on the phone, we've got so much experience, we'll go through it.
Do you know what I think people tend to do? Because I know I did this. I didn't actually call you guys because I didn't know much about you. Nobody really told me about yourselves.
Yeah.
I straight away went on to Google.
Yeah.
And I Googled wigs.
Yes.
And you have so much information pop up. And then you look at wig shops and whatnot, and some of them aren't even specialists.
No.
So they don't have any means of privacy if you go in there. They don't have the experience of dealing with, obviously, the emotional side of somebody coming in and talking about their diagnosis. You don't have the experience of they don't have the experience of even working with cancer patients. It's mainly like alopecia and whatnot. They don't know how to deal, some of them I know, they don't know how to deal with cancer patients.
I think the difference is going into a wig shop, you're going in and you could be buying a pair of shoes. You know, there's wigs everywhere. They're from floor to ceiling. You walk in, you think, oh my God, it's a lot harder than buying a pair of shoes because we've been doing that forever. Where do I start? What are the sizes? Is that one going to suit me? And so many women, I spoke to a woman on Friday and she said to me, I bought 6 wigs online before I found you. I've not worn any of them.
6 wigs?
She said, because I just didn't know what I was doing. I thought, well, they're cheaper online. I'll get these wigs. She said, I didn't know. And obviously she's ended up spending a lot more than what she would have done just by coming to
bet.
And like you say, it is about going to see a specialist because it's not just about plonking it on your head. And my advice is, it's the little things, the measurements, making sure it fits right. We've all got different shaped heads. You know, I'm someone that's a wig wearer. I'm very unfortunate. I've got the flattest head in the world. It's like someone's whacked me a
I have as well.
It's so bad for wearing wigs because they just don't sit properly on me. So if you're you know, got these different shaped heads and you're not the perfect size, we take them all in and we will make the wig fit your head, so it's completely custom and it's completely bespoke. So it's not saying you must spend thousands of pounds on a wig. It's saying go to a professional, go to somebody that's a hairdresser, that's a hair loss consultant, that's a wig fitter, that's got the education behind them, because it takes the worry out of you. If you don't want to worry about it, don't. Because with us, what we'll ask you when we pick up the phone, and obviously we'll have a chat and find out about you, you know, what hospital you're at, if you can come to us through the NHS, how much you're kind of thinking of spending, what feels right to you. And then the next question will be, send us some pictures of your hair right now. Yeah. Not pictures of you 20 years ago or 10 years ago, right now. I don't need it to be glamorous, it'll only be me looking. What your hair looks like, because it's really important. We want to feel like us, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of our identity away, like we've discussed before, and you just want to be able to put a wig on. It's not about going out and looking glam. It's about walking around to Tesco's and feeling good, or going out and feeling glam, but just feeling you. And that is 100% our aim, is to make you feel like you.
And again, talking about feeling like you, I remember when I went to see this wig maker in Kensington. I'm not going to say who it is. I told you about this yesterday, and it was obviously the worst experience. Because it took them about 7 weeks to make my wig, and at that point I'd already lost my hair. I didn't have a wig ready for when I'd have my shaving party, basically. So that was horrific in itself. But the whole process. Anyway, but what I asked for was a wig that looked like my hair. So when I first went in to see them, I still had my hair, and I said, listen, I just want my wig to look exactly as my hair is now. I've got like ombre dip dye. I want it exactly the same, because technically I want my hair to fall out and I want to be able to replace it with the same thing.
And so does 99.9% of women. That's what they
exactly.
And the importance is, like you were saying, that's 7 weeks. That's insane, because in that time you've then got all these nerves. You don't want to go out. You get invited to friends or a party. I'm not going. I don't look like me. I don't feel like me. And you just become a little bit more reclusive. And it's really hard then, as you know, going through the chemotherapy as well, to then snap out of that. So what we say is really super early. You know, when you get your diagnosis, we appreciate that, you know, everything's going on in your head. You've got so many questions. Just get on the phone, because what we will do is we'll start the ball rolling. So say for you, if you came to me and said, I just want to look like me, I want a funky dip dye, I want pink, I'd have been like, yes, we'd have loved that. We would have been over it. But what we would have then done, the next question would have been, how long have we got? How long have we got till your treatment starts?
And this is it, because everybody's different. So I, you know, I can't even use the word fortunate, but maybe, you know, I was fortunate enough that I had about 8 weeks before I started chemo. So I was able to do certain things and buy certain things and whatnot. But some people watching now, they would be diagnosed and will be starting treatment like in less than a week.
Yes.
So
that's why it's really important
getting your head around it, you know. And
because if you're saying to me, well, I've got this week, then we kind of know that hair loss predominantly starts after the second treatment. That is kind of given, but it's not for everybody. So we want to be prepared. And also with the wig, my advice is start wearing it straight away. Don't leave it in a box and think, oh, I'm not going near it. Start wearing it. And we would teach you what to do and how to wear it. Even if it's just around the house at the moment.
Yeah, and get used to seeing yourself, right?
Look in the mirror, reflection. You know, I'll say to ladies when they leave the salon, go for a cup of tea. If you don't live around here, go meet a friend somewhere. No one's staring at you. Because I know for me, you know, I have spent so much time saying to my mum, she's looking at me, he's looking at me. They know I'm wearing a wig. And you need to get it used to it in your head. And if you start doing that prior to hair loss, you're going to be so much more confident, but you're prepared. And
that's right.
Every lady I speak to, they say, I feel organised. I feel like I've ticked that box and I can move on because the hair loss, we're ready to go. We're sorted, we're loaded. You know, we know what to, because we'll go through what to expect with the hair loss. The wig's ready to go. And 9 times out of 10, they go, well, I've been wearing it because it looks so much better than my own hair. I'm in love.
Yeah. It looks nice and thick.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, I've got a little one on today. This is just a little fibre wig. So something like this, you would just take on the day. I've literally come into the salon. I've taken it out of the box. I've popped it on. I've done nothing to it. I haven't.
It looks so nice.
I haven't put any tape on. And we hold.
And look at the root. The root looks so good.
And this is just a little fibre number. This is a heat defiant fibre wig. It comes in under £300 to early 200s. You wouldn't pay the VAT. Obviously, if you're under the NHS, you might get some support there as well. They're really natural. They're not. You don't have to go for something completely over the top or different. But they're just really comfortable and they're really easy to wear. And I think that's what makes it. That's what makes it easy. We will do that bit for you. You don't have to look at hundreds and thousands of wigs online. We have about 600-700 wigs at the moment in stock. I saw some yesterday. They're all our best sellers. They're, you know, all behind me here actually. These are all the different colours we do as well. So 5 different colours, and we work with 11 different wig suppliers. So
that's amazing.
Huge range. So 9 times out of 10, you'll come in. We might have the wig there for you on that day. We'll custom it, which means we'll take it in to fit your head. If you've got different, you know, like me, flat head, or you wear a hearing aid, you might need some adaptations or glasses. We'll go through all that, make sure it suits you. We cut as well. If it's human hair, it works slightly different. So if you came in and said, you know, this is what I want, it might take us maybe a week. It might take us slightly longer, depending on when we can get it in. But that's why it's really important that we ask. We would never do a complete custom for somebody going through treatment, because we wouldn't go over the 2-week mark. Because you need that wig ready and you need to be prepared. So the 8 weeks, we would only ever go maybe weeks, months, if it's somebody that's been with us a while, they've been in wigs a while, and they've got something in place, because you need to be organised and prepared. So it's getting you ready. And it might
so for anyone who isn't going to experience total hair loss, so obviously let's go back. So when you're diagnosed, we spoke about that last week, didn't we? About when you're diagnosed and how to cope with the hair loss. But what other questions should we be asking? Like, because I know that not everyone loses their hair with chemo, and we automatically assume, don't we, that we're going to lose our hair. So for really people who,
really go for it. Question to ask is to your oncologist, because obviously they're the ones in the know. Am I going to lose my hair? If so, how soon do you think I'm going to lose my hair? Am I going to lose all of my hair? You know, 9 times out of 10, if you come to us on a referral through the NHS, you are going to have hair loss. They're not, well, 10 times out of 10, they're not going to give you a wig prescription if there's not going to be hair loss. They can't do it. It's the NHS budget. You are going to have that hair loss. There may be, you know, it might not be that you're going to lose all of your hair if you're on chemotherapy tablets, for example, radiotherapy, if you're using the cold cap. You know, these are all, you may not lose every single hair on your head or your body. You may just have thinning. So there's other options as well. It doesn't need to be.
I was going to say, so what, because I know a few people that they did the scalp calling and they lost quite a lot of hair on the top because of the cap sizes. Again, I know that Claire Paxman said they're starting to develop smaller cap sizes for like Asian ladies because of the, you know, the like the size of the skull and stuff. Like they're going more and more into research on cap sizing, getting them even smaller, bigger, whatever, because at the moment they've only got like, well, in most hospitals, small, medium, large, but I think they're covering more of the range. People can go back and watch that video if they want. But like I know, like I said, I know some people that's had a lot of thinning from the scalp calling. I know, like my auntie, she's basically on treatment for life. She's had multiple myeloma for 15 years now. And when she does, she at the moment, she is on chemo tablets. So it's like her cycle is like 2 weekly, whatever, break. But her hair, she's experienced a lot of thinning. She's cut it shorter to get the weight out of it, to obviously make it a little bit more bouncy, but still she's got a bit of thinning. So for people who are experiencing hair loss, they don't have to buy a whole wig, do they?
No, not at all. And I think, and you know, when you don't know about hair loss, you think, oh God, I've got to wear a wig. But like you say, that with the tablets as well, they might change the hair texture. So the hair might go quite wiry, quite coarse, or say the cooling cap, you can't colour your hair. So, you know, gosh, if it was me and suddenly, you know, I know I've got no hair, but if I did, I'd end up with big roots. And
it's the roots that people worry about. They
just want to feel like themselves. So it might be just a little enhancer. You know, we do anything from a little part enhancer that starts about this big all the way up to a large enhancer. So every size of hair loss we cover for.
Have you got one there to show us?
Yeah, I've got some wigs to show you, different types of wigs, and then I'll grab some toppers actually that I can show you. So I thought I'd start with this one, which was just to show you what a wig looks like on the inside, because we all look at you know, what they look like on the outside, and it's really hard to explain when you look at this wig and I go, yeah, so this is a lace front, this is this, and you think, okay.
Some people don't know what the difference is, so we'll go over that as well.
So I thought I'd show you, this is what a wig cap would start like. So for example, this wig, if this was turning into a wig, this is what we call a lace front. So this part here is pure lace, which means that it doesn't give you, you know, if you look at mine, you can kind of see it there. It doesn't give you the thick line that a lot of wigs give, which makes it look really unnatural. I mean, gosh, when I first started wearing wigs nearly 26 years ago, there was no such thing as this. Everyone had a fringe. Everyone had kind of the same haircut. It was like, we can't, you know, you can't really go without. But these little lace fronts are amazing, and it means that you don't have to wear a fringe. You don't wear a fringe, don't wear a fringe. You can wear it however you like. So, you know, we'll kind of look at that kind of stuff. And then also the top part here. So this is what we call monofilament top. So it means that it's a really thin top. It means the wig's not going to be too thick. Again, it's going to sit nice and flat, and it's not going to be bulky. And then this one, these little lines at the back, this is silicone, strips of silicone.
So that holds onto your scalp.
Stick to your scalp. So there's all different types of silicone that would sit in different places on different wigs. But when we're looking at the structure, what we would do is, again, we would take all this away from you. We wouldn't say, right, we're going to educate you on this. We would say, what do you want? What do you need? So the first question I would say, especially at the moment because we're doing it online, is measure your head for me, because we've all got different head sizes, and it's impossible, I think, to be able to buy a wig online, because you go onto the website. It reminds me of clothes shopping. It's the only way I can describe it.
Oh God,
I go into New Look. I'm a completely different size to what I'd be in River Island, to what I'd be in Next. So to say, right, well, you're, you know, I wish, but a size 10 in New Look, you're not going to be able to then walk into River Island and fit in the same pair of jeans.
No.
And wig caps are exactly the same. So
are they?
Yeah, massively. So one company, for example, may come up petite, but in another company that might be an average. So it's a minefield. You know, it takes us years to get to it and say, right, I've got this now, I've mastered that collection, and then they bring out a new collection and we all learn again. But it is quite a minefield. So I say to people, don't worry about it. That's what we do. It's what we get paid for. It's what we do for a living. So all we'll say to you is take your head measurements, the circumference of your head. So it's all the way around. So for example, I'm about 54 to 56 centimeters, which is about average. So you could be under average, you could be over average, you could be extra large, you could be extra small. Obviously we cater from wigs from children, women, men, you name it, everybody. So all different head sizes, and that is so important that the wig fits you, because if you're buying something and it's too big and it moves around and you're out in the wind or it falls off, or all these horrendous stories that I hear or see, you know, it makes my heart melt. I mean, I say I've worn them since I was a child, and I've touched wood, I've never had an experience where it's fallen off or it's moved, or because they need to fit right. And we will do that. We will try them on, and if we feel that, you know, like me, you've got a flat head, we actually take them in, we remove some of the wig and we re-sew it all, and we do all that in house. So we would make it fit for you. And also,
and that's what a wig maker should do. It's like, you know, when you get them online, that's I ordered a few online, you know, just party wigs and stuff, but just to have, because I know I would have been wearing some headwear with it, so it wouldn't have been as, you know, fake looking or whatever. But they never fit me, because they'll come up in like an average size, and my head is so small, they never fit me. And I didn't really like the idea of gluing anything down either. Like, and I know you were saying before, like, some people don't want to use glue as well. Some people just want to, like,
great either when you're going through chemotherapy, because I mean, for me, you know, I've got alopecia, I can stick anything on my head. Unfortunately, I'm not going to ruin the hair that's there, or it is what it is. So we would use quite heavy glues on people that have got maybe alopecia, male pattern baldness,
permanent hair loss,
with no permanent hair loss. When the positive with chemotherapy, and I love going on about it because it's so important to me, your hair is going to come back, I promise you. We want to nurture out, so it's so important. And I mean, we spoke about this the first time we met, didn't we? And I said, you must get a wig that is it sounds really boring, but a medical hair loss wig. Please don't go for a fashion wig. It must be a medical hair loss wig, because the way the wigs are made are to not cause any hair loss. But you don't need, if you're buying a very good made wig, you do not need a glue, you know.
That's right.
You might use a mild tape when there's no hair there. You might use a wig cap or a wig gripper, or there's lots of different things. But if a wig is made right, I promise you, you do not need a glue. It just because you've got, like this one, for example, at the back, you've got the little Velcro straps, and that will fit to your scalp. These are silicone, so when the silicone warms up, it will stick to your scalp. And it will stop the wig from moving. So you might want to use a little bit of wig tape here. I quite like to sometimes, but I promise there's no movement.
I never did. No, I never did, because I read a lot of horror stories actually about if you're using glues or tape on a regular basis, it actually can ruin and damage your hairline when the hair's growing back. Like from the follicle itself. So I was always worried about, oh my god, I don't want my hairline to like be damaged or whatever.
That's why we said please just stay away from them. There's one tape that we do, all different levels of tape, so they run in colour. Now our white tape is hypoallergenic. It's the only tape you can use for chemotherapy hair. Any other tape that you're using, so for example, the tape I use is quite a strong tape. If you were to use that going through chemotherapy, absolutely. If the new follicles start growing through and you're sticking a tape on, it's like wax.
Waxing, literally, it's like waxing.
You're taking out your follicles. So
I still see people doing like hair wig tutorials using glue during chemo, and I'm like cringing. I'm cringing.
No, there's some things out on the market, like the Got2b glue, for example, which is just like a hairspray that you can use. If you want, if you feel you need that, use that. But if not, just use, like say, white tape is hypoallergenic. It just peels off. If you're using something that doesn't come off your skin, it's going to think of what it's doing to your follicles, you know, you need to look after that scalp. And if you are going to use them, then please use a remover or an oil base to remove them, because a lot of these, like you say, you watch these tutorials and then they just rip it off, and I'm like, oh no.
I know, it's like the cringiest moment, isn't it?
But again, you just phone us, because I promise we would talk everybody through it on what would be right for you, because we'd listen to what's right with your scalp as well, because not one thing will work for everyone. So, and also it's lifestyle, you know. Lifestyle, you know, a lady might come in and say, well, I do yoga every single day. It's so important that I carry on that. What can you do for me? Well, I'm not going to say, well, nothing. I'm going to say, right, maybe we're going to look at a tape. Maybe we're going to look at a wig gripper. Maybe we're going to look at something, because you are going to be turning upside down. And, you know, like with children, for example, when we're doing a wig fitting for a child, if they're young, I mean, I wouldn't ask a teenager, they'd be mortified. But if they're youngster, I'd say they're still cartwheeling it, because that's what they can do in the playground. So we've got to make sure that the wig fits your lifestyle, not the other way around. You're not stopping anything that you do. It's adapting with you. Not right, life's got to stop because I can't enjoy myself anymore. Because they're the things that we enjoy. That, you know, if you're doing yoga, or this child likes doing her gymnastics, that's what makes us us. That's what we've got to carry on when we're going through this crazy time. So that's the questions that we will ask first of all. We'll sit and listen to your lifestyle. What do you enjoy doing? What do you want from it?
And that's the things that you need to bear in mind when you're going into like wig shops and stuff. You need that advice, don't you? Really?
Of course. And you might not have considered. You know,
yeah, exactly. And you don't, especially being somebody who's never, like, I never wore a wig before. I wore like party wigs and stuff, like Glastonbury Festival and whatever.
It's so different.
But it's not the same.
No hair,
like
how it feels on your scalp, and you're wearing it for so long. You know, I think I'm in them 16, 17 hours a day. If that didn't fit well, it's a bit like a bad fit bra. You're going to be thinking about it all day long. Like, get it off me. You want it to be able to go on, and you forget about it. And that's right. What we'll do. We'll listen to what it needs to adapt to you, and then what feels right for you. So obviously the finance is huge. What you know, there is all different prices, but the wigs do start from £100 upwards. I mean, they're not, you know, all our wigs, like I say, they're medically approved. So every single wig you'd purchase from us is medically approved. But like this one, for example, is from our cheaper range. It's still got that beautiful lace front. It's got a lace part. It's machine made, monocrylic fibre, but they're still gorgeous. You know, you've got that dark root again. You've got all them shades, and we cut and style them as well. And we don't charge for that. So when you do your wig fitting, the wig's taken in. So you would remove these tracks, for example, if you were like me or it didn't sit right, and then we would cut and style it. So
and I think people forget that, you know, when you buy a wig like online and it doesn't suit you or whatever, people forget that actually when you buy a wig in a box, you need to get it customized to suit your face. Because look at your face shape and look at mine. Imagine I wore that wig, it will look totally different on me than it does you, isn't it?
And we all got different things. We've all got little quirks. I've got a habit of doing this when I'm nervous. I've always done it, which is never good when I'm wearing an expensive human hair wig, because I end up because I just do it. It's a nervous thing. And some people, you know, they say, well, you know, for me, I want a left part because my hair, that's how my biological hair.
That's how you wear,
I had a little, you know, little kink here. And I tend to do that in all my wigs because that's me. That was where I'm.
That's you. That's, yeah.
And it doesn't matter what wig I've got on. I have to have this little thing going on because that's me. And someone might come in and go, I love that wig, but I need a fringe, because a fringe is, I need that little curtain that's going to make me feel like me, or just want a few layers, or I've always had this. Yeah, let's cut it in. Let's do that. Let's make.
And can you cut them in on synthetic wigs as well?
Yeah, you can't do everything. So for example, if I had this on and you said to me, can you add loads of layers, I wouldn't be able to suddenly layer this the same way you would a human hair wig.
That's right, yeah.
Becky, but it wouldn't be a problem if you said, I love this but I want it more layered. I would just look for an alternative that is the same colour, the same length, with layers in. And that's the luxury of fibre, that you can, there's, you know, the collections are so huge that we can find one. I mean, you've got, you know, I pulled this little one off today. Again, it's got that lovely silk, but it's just got this nice little waves, like little beach curl, really popular.
That's nice. Is that a synthetic wig?
Yeah.
Wow.
And just really popular, the little waves in, always looks like that. You can just give it a bit more of a crunch up, make it look a bit more messy. It's got, again, these nice dark roots. And they'll come in all colours and styles. And we would just layer them, cut them, just make it bespoke, because we all
it a bit more bespoke. Yeah,
everybody's different, you know. I mean, like this one, for example, this is a really popular one in my older ladies, but it's mega petite, so this comes in so tiny.
That looks so small.
It is, it's tiny. So, but it's so important. But again, this would be an NHS piece. It's a machine made wig, but it's going to fit nice. And what we don't want, certainly with an older woman or someone that's super petite, is suddenly they've got a very petite little face and they've got this big old hair,
giant wig on.
You lose them. So what we'll look at is the ratio of your face next to the hair. We don't want to lose you. We want to keep you. We just want to enhance. So when somebody looks at you, they see you. They don't see this big hair. So, you know, for an older lady, for example, we'll pop that on. Like you say, it's tiny, but we still take a lot of the hair out. So
and Tell me more about, because last week you mentioned about your amazing wig maker who's actually based in Nigeria as well.
Yeah.
And sadly, you haven't got any wigs left in stock because they're all gone.
They all went through lockdown. I think people panic buying in the first couple of weeks. So send me what you've got, Amanda. But I've got 11 on order at the moment. So we use all different companies, but our Nigerian one are Nigerian wigs. They're all handmade. So the lady that makes them, she does them all by hand. So they're all completely different. So they're plaited, they're cane rolled, they're all different colours, but they're amazing. And I got one in a couple of years ago for a child because we were struggling with a little princess to find a wig that matched her bio hair. And
the little princess charity, did you say?
Yeah. So we couldn't find one through them that matched her biological hair. And she just, like everybody else, I just want to look how my hair was. So I've done lots and lots of research and found this company who make the wigs for us. It's usually, I mean, it is about a 3-4 week turnaround for me. But like I say, normally I have about 11 to 12 in at a time, all different sizes.
That's not too bad, really.
No, because they're all different sizes. So what I'll do is I'll buy them. We can get them to measure as well, but it's that timing. With chemotherapy, it's very different to alopecia. Someone comes in, they've got alopecia, their hair might go a lot slower. They may already be wearing a wig. Then we might say, that's okay, we've got 6 weeks or 4 weeks to play with. So what we'll do more, we'll buy them, say them ones in bulk, but we can still take them in. So because we are all, we work with wigs, we know how to take them in, we can adapt them, we can make them fit you, because again it's not one size fits all. So we'll have a large selection to go through, and that's the same with loads of different companies. So like I said, we work with 11 different manufacturers altogether, wig suppliers around the world. So America, Germany, the UK, China, we've got so many different ones, but we also do a lot of our own. So obviously if we are doing human hair, we'll colour, we'll perm.
I saw some of them on the stands yesterday. They looked amazing.
Yeah, and we loved
it.
Because like I say, if you came in and said, oh, Amanda, I just want my hair, I'd be like, yes, let's do it. And one of the colourists would then have a consultation with you purely on colour and say, right, what do you want? Because you might say, well, I want mine, but I want a better version of mine, actually. I think like you were saying, I've never been able to get it as bright as I want. Well, that's cool, because with a wig, we can go mad if you want us to, because we can just get a blonde wig and we can do that. So we'd be listening to that. So, not just you want to look like you, what can we do that's maybe that little bit extra? So for you might be like, yeah, I want to go really pink. Brilliant, we can do that. We'll just get, like say, ultra blonde wig, and we're going to add a crazy colour or a live colour, or do something that's going to be add a dragged root. And a lot of the time we'll get somebody to give us a picture. So when the guys are colouring, they'll have the picture up next to the wig. So they can just literally mirror that hairstyle.
Did you think that for people who have just joined us now, or who maybe join us now, do you think that the first time you're going to see a wig maker, take a photograph of how you want it? Or online consultations,
So we ask for one sent by email. Only because that would allow us to prepare a lot. So like I said, although we've got 700-800 wigs in, a classic, I had a lady last week, she sent me a photograph of her. I knew what the wig was. I didn't need to go to my cupboard. I knew it. And I knew I didn't have it in her stock. So I ordered the colour, I ordered the style. I 100% knew it was her. As soon as it came in, I'd done obviously showed her others. But I knew it was her. So we will, a lot of the time, be able to look at your photo and go, oh, she looks like a... Again, it might not be the case, but it gives us that opportunity and time.
Sorry to cut you. Someone just said, do you guys colour your own wigs? Yes, you do.
Yes, we do. We will completely customise the wig. So, if a wig turns up, a lot of the time, for example, if it's a blonde wig, they look quite yellow. They look a bit awful. If I was to put one off the shelf now, you think, oh, I'm not wearing that. That looks horrendous. So a lot of the time they do need customising. They do come in wrapped in silicone. Most of them are one length. So we need to customise them. And it could be something really simple, just by putting a little drag root in.
And it could just be even like thinning it out, right? Because you were saying that a lot of the Asian community, they usually buy very similar wigs, don't they, in terms of like the length, especially.
A lot of Asian ladies may like it really long, with a prominent centre parting. exactly the same colour as what they wear, and a lot of the time the same density. So that's really easy for us to actually mimic. It's probably one of our easiest actually, because it is quite a nice simple style, and then we can get that look.
I met a lady, she had gorgeous hair to begin with. It did thin out quite a lot, but she only got herself a topper.
Yeah, amazing.
And it looked fantastic.
Yeah, because they'll blend with your biological hair. And with the topper, again, that might be something we need to colour, because the topper actually is slightly harder, because you're going to see your existing hair. If we put a topper on and it's slightly different colour, it's going to look awful, especially in the daylight. So what we would do to achieve that look is we would colour the topper to match your own hair. If we were struggling, we'd actually colour your own hair as well from the same colour. So it's seamless. So we would say to us, you know, if you can have colour, obviously if you can't, that's fine. But obviously we do them in fibre as well. But we'll match them seamless. So we would try toppers on, then we'd go outside, not out the front of the salon, we'd go to the private back of the car park, at the back of the salon. But we would look in the daylight, would look under lots of different light angles, just so it's seamless.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that, because when I bought my first wig, like, I wanted to see what the colour looked like outside, because this was just like some dingy basement, like with rubbish lighting. And I was embarrassed because obviously I didn't have the confidence yet to walk out in a wig. It didn't look right. They still had to customize it and stuff. And I was embarrassed to say, can I go outside and just see what it looks like against my skin tone and stuff? Because like I said, the lights were so yellow.
Yeah.
We didn't do it, but I'm so glad that you said that. You take the clients outside.
We offer anyway in the consultation, and I'll always say, oh look, the light's quite bright in here, it's quite bold. I mean, obviously we do the semi-permanent makeup, we do a lot of intricate work, so our lights are quite full. So I do say, look, let's go outside, let's have a look, and we'll go out with a mirror, we'll have a look in the natural daylight, we'll look at the different angles of the light, and maybe just even move into different parts of the salon. Like, we've got a joke, we've got a posing mirror at the front. I go, oh, go to the posing mirror, you've got a really good light. It's a full mirror, so you can get a really good look. So we'll walk around, and you know, a lot of the time, if ladies are feeling confident, they might ask the other stylists for their opinion, or if other ladies are in the shop, what do you think? And it's great because they start talking. And
that's such a nice atmosphere though, because that's what you want, don't you?
Yeah.
You want to start being able to like socialize with people who are going through the same thing, because they understand you, and immediately like you click with people. So the atmosphere in your shop is amazing anyway. I love it. That's why I spent 4 hours there when I first came to visit you.
And we love meeting people, you know, and we'll all get involved as well. You won't necessarily come in and you're with one of us and you're just going to speak to us only. You're going to end up speaking to all of us, because even if we're
get so comfortable.
We'll give our opinion if you ask it, you know, or even if you don't, sometimes we'll be like, oh my god, I love that on you, or you know. So we do get really excited about making people feel good. That's what we do all day long. You know, we want you to feel good, and as soon as you put the right wig on, somebody's body language just changes. They might go from
it does
suddenly like, whoa, I want to go to that posing mirror, I am on fire. And then it's really working on that. And the magic words for me are, I look like me. Oh my god, I look like me. That my job's complete at that time, because they've done it themselves.
Literally, that's literally the words that I said as well. Like, oh my god, I look like me. Like,
and that's 100%. When I'm like, yes, I'm done it. You know, I don't want, oh, it's okay, or maybe I might wear it, or I won't stop it. We won't stop at that point. It's, oh my god, that is me, isn't it? And
that's the reaction you want. That's the reaction you want.
And that's the reaction.
When it comes to the cost of wigs,
we
were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? And that people will end up spending thousands and still not finding the right one. So what would you say, like, you should do? Because this is where it, like, you said that some people bought 6 or 7 wigs.
Yeah. This is a hot potato. It's a massive topic, and it's something that I spend a lot of time talking to people about. You know, I done exactly the same. I told you my story yesterday. My parents kind of went out and bought me the most expensive wig going, and it wasn't the best on the market. It was actually we got done. It was a theatrical wig. It didn't fit my bald scalp. It hurt. You know, and I still hear these stories daily. You know, hearing your own story, I'm hearing them all the time. My advice is, don't spend a fortune. Don't jump in and think, I must spend so much money. It must be, you know, money buys us everything, because in the wig world, actually it doesn't. I mean, like I say, I'm wearing a £200 wig today. I feel really comfortable in it. This hasn't broken. it feels good. But let's start somewhere, you know, think what feels right for you. You might, especially going through treatment, you might not even wear the wig.
Yeah.
Don't spend £2,000 on a wig that's going to sit in a box.
Yeah.
Buy something, you know, buy something like what I'm wearing now. If then when the hair does go, you think, oh, okay, actually, this is so important to me, then come in and we'll do your bespoke human hair, all singing, all dancing, with bells on if you like. But don't feel pressured into buying something that isn't right for you. If it doesn't fit your budget, don't worry, don't go for it.
Like, guys watching at home as well, I've been sent so many wigs from you guys, because we do accept wigs, and we are gonna, well, we did give some away, but we are thinking of a way to use it to put back into the charity. But so many people have messaged me in the past and have said, okay, I've got a wig, I've worn it once, I never liked it, and they spent like either a small fortune on it, or they just picked up any old wig like with their prescription. They didn't really care too much about styling it, customizing it, because they wanted like in and out jobby kind of thing. They just wanted to go in, buy something just to be prepared. And actually, when it came to the hair loss situation, they were never comfortable in that wig, because it wasn't styled for them, nothing.
It's really a wig box. Get it styled. I mean, you can't choose from a catalogue, you can't choose from online. I can't. You know, even if there's a new wig that's come out, and we've been doing this for 20 years. We brief sleep wigs. The best thing that we do when we get a new wig that comes through the door is we try them on. And I'll be honest, if the wig isn't comfortable, or I don't like it, I'll send them back. I won't sell it. You know, whether it's a human hair or a fibre wig, if it doesn't fit right, or there's something not quite right, it's not going to be a wig that we're going to sell in our salon. And we've done that. We are telling that we don't agree with that. And then there's others that have come in and we're literally doing somersaults around going, oh my God, it's so comfortable, this is going to be a bestseller, I love it. And we will share that as well. If there's something new that's come out, we'll say, right, this has just come out on the market, I would really like you to try this. And we'll be really always be completely up to date on what's coming out in the market. We're one step ahead. We get a lot of promos come through, so we do a lot of online education with them. We'll get a lot of tutorials on the new wigs. I'll get them sent through. Like
you guys are the experts. That's the thing. You guys are the experts, and we have to trust you as well.
Absolutely. And
we have to trust your expertise,
and we enjoy it. You know, as sad as it sounds, we do.
You live and breathe it. That's why.
Live and breathe this stuff. This is our passion. So you come in, we will make you feel amazing, and all the boring bits, or the bits that aren't necessarily, you know, we will make sure that we're doing that for you. When I'm doing a consultation, I'm thinking very different to the person in the chair having a visual look. You know, as you know, when you first put a wig on, you're looking at how it looks, what does it look like, what can you see. Once you've worn it for maybe even a couple of hours, you change into how does it feel? Is there any movement? Is it itchy? These aren't things we think of when we first see them, but these are things that we're thinking of all the time. These are the questions and the things that we're checking for, because that's ultimately what's going to make a difference for you actually wearing it, feeling confident.
And again, when you get a wig, people think that it's only like during chemo that you'll wear the wig, but actually you could be wearing that wig for up to like a year and a half.
Yeah, absolutely.
For when the hair's growing back, because not everyone likes that. I don't want to use the word bum fluff. Yeah, I'm going to use it. And but I hated it. I hated that growth. The grow back, sorry you cut out, but I hated the grow back stage. It was awful because it grew back in patches, my hair, so I had to bring it down again so that it starts to level up. But that's why I wore my wigs, because like it was fine like being bald sometimes when I was completely bald, but the in between growing back stage was a nightmare, and I'm so glad I had my wigs then.
A lot of people forget about that. A lot of people think that here and now, and you do have to kind of exactly how you've just worded it, and it's great because obviously you've gone through it, and to say to people, actually think about the after, because it does take 6 months for hair to grow back. We can't colour it for the first 6 months either. It does take a while, and and that's probably when you're feeling like you again. You know, you've gone through the treatment's coming out of your body. You want to go for a lunch with your mates. You want to get your life back to normal after these crazy months of having to endure chemotherapy. You feel like you, but you physically don't. You don't look like you. So I think actually the wig comes into its own a lot more at that point, because you're wanting to put makeup on again, maybe you're wanting to put a nice dress on, you want to go out, but you're not quite there. So sometimes, and actually that's when a lot of people will buy human hair wigs at that point, because they'll say, I want to blow dry it, I want to straighten it, I want to do what I used to do.
It's that whole what's the word, the routine, like, because I was very much like that, blow drying. It was a ritual every morning. It was my ritual, blow drying my hair, because my hair is naturally quite frizzy. Putting my serum on, like, I wanted to maintain as much normality as possible. So that's why I went for a human hair wig, which leads me on to human hair versus synthetic fiber hair. The big debate.
The big debate. Well, firstly, human hair is not for everybody. Some people don't like the idea of it. So, you know, the question we would say, have you had a thought about human hair versus fibre? And a lot of people go, oh, no, I don't know. What do I have to consider? So the main things are the cost. Human hair is always going to be more expensive over fibre. Now, heads where you're not going to really get one under sort of £400 in human hair. And the main reason is the quality. You know, we've got an amazing reputation that I live on. You know, I'm so grateful, because we know our wigs are good. Now, there's a lot of wigs out there that are cheap, and a lot of people say, yeah, but I saw that on Instagram for £50. Why don't you do them? Because they're not real, or they don't last, or they're not 100% human hair, or, you know, they're not Remy hair, they're not, you know, they're not good quality. So there is a big jump. Human hair will start from about 400 upwards. Fibre will start from about 100 upwards. So that is the first thing to consider. The second is, like yourself, if you enjoy blow dry and you like play with colour, you want to have it curly one day, straight the next, put up, back combed, do everything too, then human hair's great for that, because you can be you. You know, if we've got some weddings and going out hair, and you can do all that. It's easy, says she. But it is, if you know, you can have it as glamorous as you like. Fibre is really good if you don't want to do anything to your hair. You know, like this little wig would stay like this all the time.
Every day, all the time.
Yeah, I can't curl this, I can't do much. I can put it up, of course I can, but it stays as it is. This is great.
And that's fine for some people. That's what they want. They want the no fuss.
I don't like doing my hair, it drives me mad. You know, I don't like having frizzy hair. Well, I like it to look perfect, like straight all the time. Then a fibre wig might be better for you. You know, you might get a couple then as well. So you've got one for best, one for doing every day. You could get two the same, two slightly different. Also with fibre, you don't really need to do much. So you're really only looking at washing it every now and then, every 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks. You don't need to wash it all the time. It's not like scalps are going to get grubby. You would just use a light bit of oil to maintain it daily, but that's it. And they dry completely back into shape. So they're so low for when you're going through treatment, not feeling too good. You can plonk it on. I mean, I've just popped the little fibre one I had on that I saw you in yesterday. I mean, God, I put my hands up. I've probably not washed that in a good 3-4 weeks. I've just put it in soak as I've come in. I've been doing gardening now. I had it in the top knot.
And again, we're gonna do another episode on how to wash your wigs as well, because that's one thing that I was stuck with. But we'll leave that for another day. But we've only got about 9 minutes left. So has anyone got any questions so far, or if they want to share their stories with us, please put now in the comments box or in the questions box.
About charity there, I don't know if you saw it.
So let me scroll up. So you mentioned the charity. How could I donate to the charity? Are you talking about wigs? So you could get in touch with me, or you could get in touch with Amanda, because Amanda, I know you get wigs donated to you guys all the time, don't you?
Yeah. How can I I don't know if that's to you, maybe then. How can I donate?
Yeah, you guys can DM me, and I'll send you the address details. And you can box them and send them to us. That's absolutely fine. In terms of donating to the charity, there's so many ways you can actually help us fundraise, which we need right now, which I'll mention on at another time, because we've only got about 8 minutes left. Wigs and funds. So wigs would be, you can DM me, and we can arrange either a collection, or you can post it to us. And funding, I'll talk about another time.
So you may get help from the NHS. So we are an NHS supplier. So That is a minefield in itself. The best thing to do is just honestly, please pick up the phone and speak to Kim, who I work with. It knows this inside out. She will, we all do, but she speaks to all the hospitals every day. So at the moment, we're an NHS supplier for the UK, England, Scotland and Wales, but we only are working with 11 hospitals, but that is increasing all the time. So get on the phone, we might be able to support you. Also,
and you also work privately anyway, so anyone who's watching now who just wants to call you and have a consultation, please do, because the consultation will be like this, wouldn't it? So you don't have to leave your house.
No, we could just do it on Zoom, we could do it on WhatsApp, FaceTime, whatever works, and it would literally be a chat. And obviously the great thing about me having no hair is I'm able to put the wigs on for you, which has worked brilliantly actually.
Exactly.
So I can actually put them on and I can explain to you what they are, why they're good, why they're not so good, why they're this.
Brilliant.
And that's worked really well. I mean, obviously we're all different, but it's I've really enjoyed it. I've loved doing these FaceTime calls. The same as anybody. When I first started sort of 14 weeks ago, I was like, and I was finding myself having the most amazing chats and listening to people's stories and getting the right wigs for them. And we've done so many through lockdown and it's worked amazing. And so this is going to continue the whole way. This is going to continue now. You don't need to come into the salon. We can do it all virtual, even taking the wigs in, colouring, constructing. The good thing about being a wig wearer is you don't need to be with it. The luxury is we can do it all without it being on your head, you know. So there's always.
So if we were to summarize today's episode, so we talked about buying. Obviously, this is all about buying your first wig. So we talked about how much you could spend, because wigs can be super expensive, can't they? Yeah. But if it's your first wig, just like again, have your consultation with Amanda or someone in your
pounds to maybe 3,000-4,000. You know, they're crazy. The price really value, and it's so hard to pinpoint that. So just speak to us and we will explain to you why the different prices are, maybe what feels right for you, because we'll listen to again you and we'll be able to give you that answer. Definitely.
That's right, because everybody's different, aren't they? So there's no like one answer sort of for everyone, because everyone's needs are different as well. We talked about human hair versus real hair, versus synthetic and fiber hair. Again, it's all dependent on you and what you want from your wig, isn't it?
Yeah. And we'll make sure that happens. And again, we'll ask you them right questions so we get some answers from you, and we'll know from them questions what feels right for you. And you know, and again, you don't have to worry about it too much. We do put loads on our website as well. So I think I've got pros and cons of both, which really helps. So and
your website is being updated, isn't it? So if there's any questions.
Yeah, there's a Q&A page on there as well that's all about these sort of things. So our most popular Q&As we put on there. Or if somebody asks a really good question, we're like, oh, pop that on the website. That's a great question. Because we don't always think of them all. So, always ask, definitely.
Definitely. And what I would say as well as a final note is don't worry, because like there's going to be a moment where you're going to feel super confident. I thought that I would never be confident in a wig. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Like I didn't have a chance to wear my wig before the hair loss occurred either. I was wearing scarves and stuff. But then when my wig came, I was in love with the reflection during chemo. I was like, I'm so glad I got myself like a colourful wig as well, because then I could put hair accessories. Like we'll talk about styling wigs as well in a future episode, using like the scarf that you did yesterday, like the ribbons and stuff like that, really jazzing it up and using accessories to have fun with.
And I think once you start doing that, you get more confident. So 100%, once you're confident in it, have fun with it, because it can be really good fun. And I love it when people say, oh, I feel so good. Everyone keeps telling me how good my hair looks. They don't know it's a wig, but they think I just look so great. And it's so refreshing to hear, because we just want you to feel confident and good. You've got so much else going on. Like,
that's right. And that's the thing. There's so much going on. There's so much going on. And the last thing you want to worry about is like your hair. So if we try and sort of combat all the questions and get all those things answered right at the start, then, you know, the first question, like you said, like Claire Paxman said, like I said, like so many other people have said, is with the doctor, am I going to lose my hair? So once you ask that question and you worry about it, speak to a specialist straight away. The same way you're speaking to a specialist about your symptoms, about your blood work, about, you know, you need to go and see the hair doctor, which is what I've renamed you now. You need to speak to someone who knows the business inside out, who knows different caps, different fibers, blah, blah, blah. You know,
it could start just with a text. You know, I find with a lot of my younger clients, for example, teenagers, you know, they don't necessarily want to talk to me face to face. Text me. I'll text you. You can do whatever feels right, and we will. I promise we'll have an answer. And if we haven't got it, we'll find it. You know, we know everything, but we do work with dermatology. We do work with chemotherapy. We do work with all different departments. All our education as well that we do with all different places. We're constantly going on courses and learning more.
You guys are top. Like I can't even fault you guys.
Oh, thanks.
Honestly.
Well, we're always learning, you know, every day's a learning day, and we're learning from each other. And like I said, so many courses and stuff that we go on constantly. And because the world's adapting and the wig world is so exciting, it's getting so much better all the time. We've got to stay ahead.
Sure.
And we'll have the answers, I promise. So just get on the phone, text, whatever feels right. We'll be here to help.
Otherwise, you're going to be like doing what we did, isn't it? Walking around 20 different shops, trying things on, no privacy. No dignity in some of these shops. So the best thing is to go somewhere where it's comfortable.
Absolutely.
And you can have your questions answered. But we've got 60 seconds left.
Right.
So if there's any future questions, please let us know. DM me, DM Amanda. Go and follow Hair to Wear now if you've got any questions you want to ask. Also, next week, what should we talk about next week? Do you guys want any particular subjects
to get some feedback, wouldn't it, and find out?
And then we can come
on top pieces. Maybe that would be a good one if you want to see. Maybe you're going to treatment and you don't need a full wig. If that's something that people want, we can look at the enhancers and the top pieces to explain the difference.
Definitely.
We've got so much to talk about, and I'll happily answer any questions.
So guys, let us know what you want next week's episode to be about, for those of you wondering. If not, then we're guaranteed to have something fun and interesting for you. So I'm gonna have to say bye now because it's gonna cut us off. So
have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather.
Have a lovely rest of the weekend. It's an amazing day in London. I don't know where everyone else is today, but stay safe, stay hydrated, wear your sunscreen. And if you are worried about your hair this weekend, follow, get on the phone. Get on the phone.
And thank you all for joining us. Honestly, it's so lovely that we can do this, and we want to be able to share it. I mean, we've got so much information between the two of us, and it's so nice to put it out there and just share the information, share the love, really, and just call us and we'll get you through it, I promise.
And come and join us next week as well, and let us know your experiences and questions, because like I said before, this isn't just for us. This is for everyone, you know. This is for everyone to have the valuable information that isn't usually out there. So come and ask your questions, and we'll try and do our best to answer them. I'm going to have to say goodbye now, Amanda.
Thanks for your time.
It's been a pleasure as always.
Thanks for all joining us. Always. I love speaking.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Say that again.
I said I love talking to you. It's brilliant.
I love talking to you.
You want to keep me full of energy. You're like, yay! It's fantastic.
Now it's time to crack on with the rest of the day. I've got loads of DIY to do. God help us all.
Go and do boring cleaning and stuff, but it's great to see you. Take care.
And you take care, guys.
Bye.